There we go. We're up and running. Let me welcome Rune. Have I pronounced that right, Rune?
Rune, yeah.
Yeah. Welcome.
Thank you.
Rune, if you go to Gavin's picture and the top right-hand corner, you'll see 3 little dots.
Yes, I know.
Okie doke. Over to you then, Gav. I'll let people in as they come.
Yeah. Right. Here we go. Right. For our Swedish friends in the UK now, of course, it's getting cold, so a lot of anglers are going to small, still waters. Some of them are going to reservoirs, but it's mostly still waters. Unless, of course, you're a river angler, which now this time of the year we go for grayling. But for this evening, to kick off, I'm going to be tying some cold water patterns. Boobies, cormorants, and whatever else people ask me to do. So the first one we're going to do is going to be a booby. Okay, and the hook I'm going to be using is from Partridge or Reddit, and it's the Heavy Wet Supreme, and this one's a size 8. It's a little bit bigger than I normally use. I like fishing them on a 10, but for the camera, it's a size 8. So hook is in a vise. Select my thread. This one is going to be a nice bright orange color. So we take our thread, UTC. We connect on just behind the eye. Hold the waist end up and push our thread against the waist end. And what that does, it gives us a nice, neat underbody. Pushing the thread against the waist gives us fantastic, neat touching turns. So when we to the position we want to finish our fly at, just trim the waist away. Bring our thread 3/4 of the way back up the shank. And now we take our marabou, which is going to form our tail and our wing. We take our feather and we prepare it. Just pull the bottom, like so. Pull the scraggy ends away. Just chuck that in a little bin there. Okay. Now, with a marabou feather, what you'll find is you'll get one long side and one short side. To maximize your material. For the tail, we use the short bit, the short side. And we take the top of our finger from the tip to the first crease. We place the marabou into the first crease like so. Okay. It's difficult to show you on the camera, but it goes into the first crease. Pinch it and pull it off. Take the feather again, put it back onto the crease and pinch it. So that gives us 2 even pinches, which roughly works out. If you look at the size of your finger, it's 1 inch. So every pinch is basically 1 inch. So we put the 2 together, give it a little twist, like that. Give it a little twist to bring it all together. Pass it over. Take your scissors and cut the waist scraggy ends away. Keep it tight between your finger and thumb. Take the other finger and thumb and just pluck the waist ends like so. And what that does, it brings all the fluffy waist fibers forward. Go in with the scissors and trim them off. Makes it nice and neat. And we place that on to the shank where the silk is sitting, like so. Come up, pinch a loop, make sure it's sitting nice and neat. Hold it secure it, lift the tail and tie down nice and firmly to the finish position where we actually finished tying the underbody in. When we're there, we take some straggle. This is from Semperfly and it's straggle string. We take a nice bright orange. There's a few inches of it. Okay, like so. Now, with this straggle string, which is basically a fritz, because it's a fine material, what you have to do is match the underbody or the thread as close as you can to the material. If you don't, what you'll find is when you actually tie the body on, if the silk is darker, it shows through the body. So by just matching the thread to your body material, makes the fly a lot neater. And also, if you notice, the straggle runs in one direction, so it actually looks like an arrow. As the inner core is sitting there, the fibers are pointing downwards. When you tie it in, you want them pointing backwards, like so. I hope you can see it on the camera. So we take the end, catch it on, 1 turn, 2, 3 tight turns, and then just flow your thread up to the edge of the tied in butt end of the marabou. Now, to form the body, lift the straggle, treat it like a hackle. Just pull the little fibers out, pull the tail out of the way with the one hand, form it around, pull the fibers back, and work up the body with nice touching turns. And as you go in, pull the fibers so it opens up. If you don't do it, what you'll tend to find is you'll trap all the sparkly little shiny fibers in, and it just kills the body. It just kills the effect. So just pull them back. Treat it exactly like you would a hackle. Pull them back. Come up to your finish position. Cross your thread. Catch it in. 3 or 4 turns. Tie it off. Come in with the scissors. Trim it. Give it a little tighten. Make sure everything's sitting out of the way. Pull it back, neaten the edge section up. Now where's my dummy needle gone? Lost my dummy needle. Right, okay. With a dubbing brush, just give the body a little brush, just to pick those fibers out, just to make it sparkle, like so. Okay, now for the wing. Go back to our marabou. Like I said, we've used the short piece for the tail, and now we go to the other side, the long piece. And if you look there, once we tie that on, the long piece covers the tail. So it's like a natural, it's a natural effect the actual feather gives you. It actually gives you the tool to make a nice neat fly. So back to the tip of a finger, we go in, 1 piece, 1 pinch, 2 pinches, exactly the same as the tail. So that means the density of the tail and the wing are basically identical. 2 pinches, 2 pinches. Roll it together. Trim the scruffy end away, nice and cleanly. Keep it tight in your fingers. Pull the fibers forward. Trim it again. Maybe 1 more. And this is important for the head section for 2 reasons. 1, it cuts the bulk of the tie-in down, so that gives you a nice smaller head. 2, If you don't pluck it and trim it, all the little fuzzy bits that are in there poke out. So when you're actually trying to form a nice neat head, you can't do it because those fibers are poking everywhere and you're tying in and you're tying in. So this process cuts all that away, hopefully, as you can see on the camera. So then with a wing, place it on just behind the eye, pinch a loop. So make sure it sits, just give it a little twist, fold it out of the way, and then secure with the wing nice and neatly, like so. So as you can see, the wing now is covering the tail nice and neat. Go back to our finger, take the point or the tip of your finger, place it at the back of the hook, so it's touching the bend. If I take it that way, yeah, you can just see it. If you go from the tip of your finger to the crease, that gives you the full length of the body. What I tend to do is I imagine there's a line running through the tip of my finger, right the way through. I'll place it on and I'll trim the wing and the tail together in the center of my finger. Okay, right, so I'll put it in. It's difficult for me to show you because I gotta tie it this way, but if you imagine I'm facing that way, you can see it. So I'll just pull it back, put my finger in, catch it to the center, trim it away, like so. Little bit poking out, and there we are, nice and neat, easy. If you want to make it a nice curved profile, take your thumb, look at the shape of your thumb, tip of your thumb, place it just so it's the same length as the wing, like so, pinch it on, and just trim above and below, and then we get a nice rounded effect on the wing. So using your fingers as a gauge, tip, the length, halfway through to the length of the tail, and your thumb to give a nice rounded shape. Okay, so that's a wing, a tail, sorry, a body, and a wing in. Now for the eyes, then you had booby eyes, white. Take your scissors, hold the cylinder, catch it in the center, and just get it right there, cut it. Cut it in two. Take the scissors, and what we do now is we just nip the edges of the cylinder away. Just trim it, go around, twist it in your fingers, and just nip the edges off. There's one there, just trim that. Turn it. So what we've actually done is we've created a tic-tac, the mince that you eat. Okay, take a needle, place it in the center. You can just place it on and tie the eyes on, but if you've got clumpy fingers or big fat fingers, if you just take a needle, place it through the center, like so. Place the eyes onto your thread. Just got my t-shirt there, as you can see it, and just put 1, 2 turns of thread through the center. Hold the eye, pull the needle out, give it a little tighten, and now we just place the eyes onto the fly. And the position you're looking for on the pattern is right at the base of the wing, not the eye, but the wing. if you ever see a cat's whisker, that's exactly the same thing. Place it at the base of the wing. So just pull the wing back, catch it through, hold it, take the silk around, 1, 2, catch 2 turns in, pull the silk forward, twist the eyes, go 1, 2, 3, come in the front, put 1 turn through, 1, 2. Oh, I just caught the wing there, just pull that through, make sure it's sitting good. Yeah, pretty good. Just give it a little twist, and there we are. That's your eyes secured. Okay, as easy as that, but make sure the eyes sit at the base of the wing. Now, to give it a bit of sparkle, take some dubbing, whatever you want to use. I like the Spectra from Pens. Just match the color of the fly. A little bit of orange, nice bright orange. Take a piece out. About much. You can add in as much as you want to, but you know, I don't like it heavy. I just like a bit of sparkle. Pull it between your fingers, like so, to break it up. A bit of length on the thread, and then just dab it on through the silk. Nice and loose, break that up a little bit more. Come on, break up. Ah, that's better. Just break it up. Tighten it on, make a noodle. What's that? 2.5, 3 inches. The first turn goes through the eyes. Second turn in front of the eyes. So you work from the front, back, come underneath, from the back, front, go around the top. No, sorry, I go around, keep going around the center, come around the front, through, so you finish your dubbing underneath the fly, coming through to the eye, like so. Just give it a little push, make sure you can see the eye. 1, 2 turns in, whip finish tool, and in we go. Whip finish, through, pull it nice and tight, trim it thread away. Sure the wing is poking up nice. Take your dubbing needle and just pull your fibers out, like so. From the top, from underneath. When you got them coming through, just give it a little brush. Make it nice and neat. And there we have a nice sparkly booby. Nice and easy. Catches plenty of fish in the cold weather. Any questions? Come on, somebody's going to ask a question.
I always wet my fingers and wet the marabou, and that keeps it out of the way.
I never have.
Never bothered.
No, never done it. If you treat it right and give yourself a process, like I said with the fingers, as long as you keep it out of the way, it sits just like that. I tend to find if I wet it, it clumps up and you can't see the profile that you want. You don't get the profile that you want. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah.
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 How would you fish that, Gavin? What would you be your first line of attack with that?
Washing line. That would be on the point with probably a dye 3. Maybe a fast intermediate, but normally a dye 3.
Yeah.
And I'll have 2 cormorants behind it. And there's a technique that you can use. It's whatever color booby or, well, yeah, booby you got on a point, have 2 different colors up the line. So you're covered in a spectrum of colors. It's the same technique as I've always used in loch style fishing. Like if I'm on a loch, if I'm fishing a reservoir, upland reservoir, I'll have maybe a double on the point, which would be a black and peacock or a mini lure, or maybe a marl and claret. But above it then, I'd have 2 different color flies. Like I'd have a bibio on the top and maybe something like a hole in the middle, or a Cape McLaren in the middle. I'd keep the two flies on the dropper and on the point the same. I'd always change the middle one because it gives you're giving the fish color. Can you see the sense in that? Yeah, and it's the same with the booby. You'd keep this one on a point and then change. You have 2 cormorants and just change the colors of the cormorants.
Okay.
And I tend to find that picks you up a lot of fish because you cover the whole spectrum. So I'm gonna do a black one now. Same pattern, but a black one. If I can actually get my thread out of the way. Right, take that beneath your half. You boys fish boobies? You must fish boobies.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I mean, I just tend to use them as a washing line technique.
Yeah.
Small booby and then a couple of nymphs on, on the droppers.
Right.
But that's more obviously during the summer months, not in the winter.
No?
No.
Well, in the summer months, if the fish are a bit touchy in the summer months, I'll put a small booby on, say a size 12 on a point, and I'll fish 2 nymphs behind it on a floating line. Because that booby then keeps your flies in the surface. Winter months, the sinker line goes on and down they go.
Mm.
Especially this weekend coming up because we've got a bit of snow forecast. So I think the fish are going to be dropping down. So we're probably going to be searching the deck. So I'm going through the same process. Just change the color. Put your thread on. Where's my black? Put black marble. Very good feather. Exactly the same process. Pull your feather out. And this bottom end of the feather, you can just snip off and keep that then for cormorant rings or nymph bodies. Just put it aside. 2 pinches. 1, 2. Twist. Trim. Pluck. Catch on. Lift. Secure it down. Get a bit of straggle or a bit of whatever material you use. You can use a bit of seals fur if you like with the silver rib. You can use the thick fritz, but I like the straggle. Catch it on. Secure with it. Come up. Pull your fibers out. Pull them back. Pull them back. 1. And again. Come up right up to the top to the finished position. 2, 3 turns in. Cut it off. Give it a little brush It's important. Giving a little brush with the straggle is important. People don't do it, but what you tend to find is the fibers get trapped underneath. So give it a little brush and it just opens it up. Come to the wing. 1 pinch, 2 pinch. Give it a little twist. Cut him. Pluck him. Trim him. Place him on. Secure with him. Come up. Then with the tip of the finger, the length. I give the full length this time, so I'll place it in. The crease is there. Come to the tip. And just pull him off. Come in with your thumb. Get the shape of your thumb. It doesn't, you know, it stops it looking man-made. It gives it a bit of flow, a bit of color, a bit of movement. White, where is white? There it is. Make a tic-tac. Trim the edges. And the reason for making a tic-tac is when you tie the eyes on, because the thread pulls down in the center, it rounds the eyes off nice. If you leave it square, they look okay. You know, if that's the way you want them, doesn't make any difference to the fly. It just makes it look a little bit neater. So by trimming the edges off, gives you a nice rounded effect. Catch them on. Oh, missed that one there. 1, 2, pull it tight. Place it on, come right to the base of the wing. From the front, 1, 2, 3. Twist the eyes from the underneath. 1, 2, 3. 1 twin to secure it. If you want to sit right. We'll use a bit of the bronze one. Pull it out. You dab in. Pull it between your fingers and thumbs like so. Just dab it on. Make a dabbing noodle. Right. Anything you boys want to see me try in or you want to ask? Just.
You ever put a drop of super glue on them, Gav?
No. How do you mean? For the heads?
For the eyes, yeah, so they stay in the same place.
No. No need. No need. Open the eyes. Come from the front. 1, 2, 3. Come around. 1. Don't need enough for 2. Catch it on. And we're finished. When I'm actually trying for myself, I don't take a lot of time on my flies, to be honest. Trim away. Pull some of the fibers out. Just to give it a little halo, you know, a little sparkly halo. You can add a bit of sparkle in the wing if you want, with a bit of mirage through it. A bit of pearl.
Do you always use white eyes?
Pardon?
You always use white eyes?
No. No. I like white eyes with the black. I like them with the orange. Because, you know, if you look at that, it's basically the same pattern, it's the same fly, just different color.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. The popcorn or the candy floss booby, that's yellow eyes. And for some reason that just works. It really works. They like the yellow eyes. Yeah. They love it. And to be honest,
What size are they then? 5mm?
that's a 5mm.
Yeah.
These are 7mm.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You got 9mm. I don't like my eyes too big,
Yeah.
if you know what I mean, because it makes the fly look
Yeah,
expanded,
right.
you know.
Yeah.
And of course, if you with the sinker line, you want the fly to go down with the line.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're using it's a fishing technique. So you're using your line to drag your fly to the bottom. Yeah, and if it's too buoyant, I don't think they work right.
How long's your lead? How long's the lead?
The leader?
Yeah. 10 foot?
Roughly, yes, about the length of the rod.
Yeah.
The 3 flies are in the length of the rod.
Yeah.
On occasions, I go up to about 16 feet. If I'm fishing in the summertime, like I tie a bibio booby,
Yeah.
which is basically a bibio with 2 booby eyes, small 3mm booby eyes. If I'm using that, I'll use 16 foot, just to give you that extra distance.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tying these, like we just saw, it's exactly the same pattern, just different colors.
Yeah.
But that color can make a massive difference. Massive difference. But it's like, obviously we're doing a fly tying lesson at the moment, but it's knowing your materials, like your marabous.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like knowing that there's a short side and a long side.
Yeah.
It's so easy to think, but if you've never seen it, perhaps you've never noticed it.
No, you're right.
So you use the short for the tail and the long to cover the wing. So it gives you that profile, it gives you that silhouette. Yeah?
Yeah.
And cut the bottom of the feather off, because that then will come for your cormorants. And if it's all mashed up like it was earlier, just give it a brush out, nice and loose, and it comes up with it.
Because a lot of people use tips, don't they, for cormorants?
Yes. The tips, very, very tips.
Yeah.
The aspect of sticking your fly in the water is for the fish to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So if you fish in a little mini lure, which is basically what a cormorant is it's really, unless you tie it with peacock earl and it's like a little black peacock, it's a mini lure, which I'll tie next. You want it to be seen.
I love cormorants.
So give it a nice stick. Yeah, they catch a lot of fish.
They do, yeah.
They catch, and not just rainbows, browns.
Yeah.
I've actually put grayling on the river with a cormorant.
Wow. I never thought to use them on the river, to tell you the truth.
But it's a peacock body and a black wing.
Yeah, true, mate. Yeah.
I feel if you think about the way it acts in the water, why wouldn't it take it?
Yeah, it's true.
If a grayling will come up and smash a squirmy worm, which is that long and made from rubber.
Yeah.
Yeah, you think, oh, really? Right. So the tips: sort your marabou out, use the lens, and when you're using your little straggle, match the thread with the material, and that counts for a lot of materials. Even in classic fly tying. Like if you're tying a Peter Ross, I tie my Peter Ross with a red thread. A lot of people tie it with black thread, but when they put the red seals fur on at the end, if you're using black thread, you see the thread through seals fur, because it stands like a sore thumb. Like a sore thumb. So just a little bit of thinking, and also try to keep your fingers clean, because the black is coming off now. The dyes come off the marabous, and if you go from color to color, it can taint the materials. So now we're going to do a cormorant. There's my 12s. This one's going to be an orange. Or shall I tell you Viva one?
Yeah, go on.
I'll tell you two. I'll tell you Viva one first. And then I'll tell you an orange. Where's my thread? Right, I'll switch my threads over. How do you boys pull your thread through?
Yeah,
Do
put it,
you-
yeah,
Suck
like
it.
that and just suck it?
yeah,
Like that?
yeah,
Do you ever use this Semperfly nano silk?
yes,
That can be a sod to suck through because it flays out at the end. Just get a bit of, you know, this technique with a bit of wire,
yeah, yeah.
crease it, put it through. So it's like a needle threader. Easy. Right, we got a size 12 in. Partridge everywhere supreme. My favorite wet fly hook. Definitely my favorite wet fly hook. Use them everywhere. Making a Viva Cormorant. Green UTC. Catch it on. Lift the thread to give you a nice touch and turn, neat touch and turns. Come around. When you get to the position where you almost want to finish, trim the waist away. And then do 3 or 4 turns beyond it. Come up, nice and neat. Keep it nice and level on the body. Get to that position. Take black UTC. Catch it on. And tie over the top. Trim your 2 away. Trim that a little bit away. Like that. Take a bit of silver. Tinsel. Stainless wire. For a rib. Straighten it. Run it through your fingers. Just to straighten it. Clean it up. Hold it on the side. Catch it on. Like so. And then go down with the UTC just to give it the green spot at the back. Come up, touch and turns. Keep the body nice and level. Just like so. Take your time with it. Stop just behind the eye. And now form a rib. One complete turn around. And then work your way up the body. Nice, even touch and turns. Fold. 1, 2, 3. Hold the hook. And twist the wire off. Never cut the wire with the scissors. Always worry it. Because it breaks off nice and neat. And it gives you a better finish. Right, for the wing. We'll take the scruffy bit at the back. But just take a little bit away. Flap it out. Back to your fingertip. Go to the center. Half pinch. So we just imagine there's a line in the middle. Go to there. Half a pinch. Pull it off. Put it together. Give it a little twist. Like so. Cut it. Pluck it. Cut it again. And this is where this technique comes into its own with the smaller flies, or the flies that you actually finish the head with the marabou. So there's the marabou wing and the head finishes itself. Place it on. One pinch and loop. Oh, we just missed it again. One pinch and loop. Manipulate it, get it so it's sitting right. Hold it. 2, 3, 4. Just pull the wing back. Get the length that you want. Hold it. Pinch it. Never cut marabou with the scissors. Form it to the shape you want it. Just pull that off a little bit. like so. So when you put a bit of sparkle in the wing, yeah,
Yeah.
right. Mirage, or you can use a bit of pearl, the vineyard, what they call it. Bloody hell, I got so much stuff here. I like the Mirage because it gives a little sparkle. Right, if I can get it off. In fact, off you come. It's very difficult to see under these lights, I've got to be honest. All right. We take a piece of Mirage. You see that? Can you see it sparkling? And we use, as it comes off the spool, as you probably know, it curves. Yeah? So we place the actual Mirage itself on the wing so that the curve is pointing to the wing. So we just place it on. If I can do it this way, you can see it better. Place it on. When you got it in position, hold it with your thumb. 1, 2 turns of thread. Pull the material till it's where you want it. And then just trim it to size. Roll the fly over. Hold the material as you want it with your thumb. 1, 2 turns. Give it a little pull. Trim it. Roll the fly back around. Give those little things a little. Okay, so you got the wing, you got the 2 cheeks then of Mirage. Just pull them back. Make a nice neat head. All secured. And whip finish. 1, 2, 3 turns. Pull it off. And there we are. Done. Just check the cheeks of the same length. Yeah, they're pretty good. Got that one a little bit. And there we are. Cormorant. It's quick and easy as that. So we've used the green UTC for the tag. You can use an orange if you like. You can change it up. And it's as easy as that. And like I did with the boobies, it'll be the same fly, just different colors. Just change the color of the material. So when you fish in the washing line, I'll be on the end. You'll have that in the center, and maybe a cat's whisker with the lime on the white wing above it. And that'll pull you fish. Hopefully it'll pull you fish. Happy?
Yeah, I use fluorescent bias.
Yes. Where they gone?
Sunburst, my favourite.
Like those ones.
Yeah, that's it.
Loads of them.
Yeah.
Loads of them. To be honest now, I use Bayets more than I actually use Jungle Cock.
Yeah, I don't. I've got some split jungle cock that I'm using up. Don't bother.
Yeah. Right, what else do we want? What about tools? What about using tools? Like those. One of those. Loop tools. Dubbing loop tools.
Yeah.
Do you ever use them?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. How do you use them? What do you do with it? What do you do with them?
Nymph bodies, lure bodies, all sorts.
Yeah. Like a lot of people, I split the silk.
Yeah.
Put the dub needle in, put the material in the thing, just twist it. That's okay. What about your dubbing? How do you use it for dubbing?
Yeah, I make a dubbing loop. Quite
Right.
often, use a clip.
Yeah. Right. What about like for dry flies or nymphs?
Yeah, for heads with CDC and stuff like that.
Right. Okay. I'll just knock one up now. I want to actually tie a fly with it. I'll just show you a little technique with it. There's a few ways to use it, but if you use, say, where's my Benici? I'll use my Benici. For a dry fly, if you tie in something maybe like a clink hammer, and you want a nice tight body, if you put your thread on, okay, have your thread on. Where's my dubbing gone? Have a little bit. I got stuff everywhere, absolutely everywhere. I'll use a bit of this Coch dubbing. Here, you take some of your dubbing, like so, yeah?
Yeah.
Break it up. Pull it between your fingers. Catch it on your dubbing, just like so. Catch your dubbing onto your thread. Don't have to be tight, make it nice and loose. Like so, okay. Put that back in there, just precious stuff. Now, with the dubbing tool, catch it now, make a big loop. To finish it off. This is just to tighten your dubbing up, right? To make it your dubbing nice and skinny. Put your dubbing on as normal, then make a loop like so.
Yeah.
And then twist it together. And what you find is, keep twisting. And it goes really, really tight. Really, really skinny. Like that. Can you see that?
Yeah, yeah. It's never going to come out.
You'll never come out, but what you tend to find is you can make a real slim body. And if you take your dubbing brush, give it a little brush before you actually tie it on, and it makes it spike out. Look, I use this for check nymphs, nice tight bodies of check nymphs, damsels.
Yeah.
I tie a damsel with it, and what you find, look, it acts like a rope. So now you just come around and you start. You just touch in turns. And what I said earlier about using the thread to match the material, I just come in up.
It'd make a brilliant hare's ear, tiny ones.
Well, that's what I just done. Like.
Yeah, yeah. See,
Like that. So what it does, you just put your dubbing on as normal, make your loop, and it's done.
No, it's effective.
Yeah.
Really. So, like, you see it so often. I was in the Welsh Rivers team in '98 with Gwilym Hughes, and 2 years before I met Gwilym, they had the World Championships on the River Dee.
Yes, yeah.
And the Czechoslovakian boys stayed with Gwilym. And it was the first time they'd ever used check nymphs in a competition. And the lads copied them And the first thing he said was, no, you're doing them wrong. You're doing them too fat. If you tie them fat, they don't sink as they should.
No.
They don't. You've got to tie them as slim as you can. Because if you just imagine it in your mind, something that's big and thick will take longer to sink. When
Yeah.
it's slim, it just cuts through the water. And they are check names, so it's basically that lead underneath, flat lead underneath, and as you over the top with a little gold, with a little brass bead. And that was it. That's all they were. And they catch so many fish with them. It's sickening sometimes. They've got a technique.
Yeah.
But that's basically what it is. Keep it nice and slim. And Yuri Klima showed me that out in Slovakia. And I thought that's so simple to do.
Yeah.
It's so simple to do. But with the two things, well, there's a few things I use it on. One is the check nymphs, damsel body, but also if I'm tying quite a large clink hammer, I use it on those. It tightens the body right up. Tightens it right up. It'll never come undone. And it just sits. And if you just take your dummy needle, you can just
Yeah.
you put a little hackle on that, and I'll catch you fish.
Yeah. Simple, isn't it?
It's simple. So there's ways and means how to use these simple little tools, different ways. I think the easiest way, to be honest, to set like a CDC hackle is to split the silk with the tool, of course. Out of my way at the moment, can't get hold of it. With a little flip, just put them in. But this stops you. You don't have to use a clip,
No.
and it's so quick. It's so quick. I don't think I got the pieces.
Have you used
I
that
tell you what
little clip I sent you, Gav? Gav,
Pardon?
have you
Hello?
used that little clip I sent you?
That's what I was looking for, but I can't find it. I don't know where I put it. That's exactly what I was looking for, but I can't find it. Right, I tell you what I'll do. I'll tie you a little. I'll tie a check nymph. Type of check nymph. I'll tie a bug on a clink armor hook with the bead using this. Right. And you're all thinking, oh, clink armor hook. What's he using a clink armor hook for? Yeah.
Hey,
I got so much stuff here. It's unbelievable. Right. We'll use a little pink bead. That's not the ones. Are you materials like this all over the place?
Yeah.
Oh. That's them. Right, okay. Just put all these beads away. I got 5.5 mil beads, 4 mil beads, 4.4 mil bead. Oh, I love them all. Love them.
where'd you get your beads from, Gav?
These ones are from Deer Creek because Nick
Oh, yeah.
sponsors me. But there's a lad living just down the road from me. Gets slotted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, he's excellent.
Yeah.
He's excellent.
They are what they say as well, they are, aren't they?
Yes, they are, and you can get the 5.5,
Wow.
which sink.
Yeah.
Really sink. When they hit the water, they go bloof.
Yeah.
Right.
He had a great big order in today. Ian did.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, he's a good boy. Like I said, he's only about 7 miles down the road from me, so
I got
He's
a lot
local.
of beads off him.
he's local. Right. I picked the wrong one up by the look of it. Oh, here you are. All right. Let me just get that one off there. Right. Clink hammer hook. Yeah, and you might think, oh, we're using a bug, you use a clink gamma hook, but I've used these for years for my bugs, this type of bug, and they're a fantastic hook for it. They got the shape, they are so sharp, and when you tend to hook the fish, they stay hooked because it's the shape of the hook and the length of the point. So it's a size 12. You stick a tungsten, pink, thread him on. Find it a little bit difficult to see with the light, to be honest. It's just glaring back at me. So bear with me, lads. Right. That's a hook and a bead. We take some pink thread. Like I said, match your materials, especially with something like this. Right. Tighten that up. Catch a thread on, which is pink, UTC. And this is it's a 70. Make a little dam behind the bead. Just to hold it secure. Run your thread down, touching turns. I like to do this on these the black nickel hooks because it, especially with the light color thread and the light color body material, because it just masks the hook itself, the color of the hook. So we just run an underbody down, come back up to the center. Take some pink dubbing. And this is, in fact, Nick sent me this week. I think it's the car box, but it's got little, it's a Hendrickson pink. So it's a little bit of, it's got little pink flashes in it. So we just take some out of the packet, fluff it in your fingers to break it up. Oh, that's a nice dubbing. It's the first time I've actually looked at this dubbing, and it's quite nice actually. Can you see the sparkles in it?
Yeah.
Real fun.
That's really nice. Right. So same thing as I showed you earlier. Just dub it on as evenly as you can, obviously. Oh, it dubs nicely. That's like a rabbit for next. Just come down with it, make it nice and even. A little bit more. Okay, there you go. Loop tool.
That's quite a soft dubbing, that.
It's very soft. It's very nice. The first time I've pulled it out of the packet, and it's really because I've been painting for a fortnight. just to let you know. Right. So we made a loop. We put the dubbing on.
Yeah.
Made a loop. Come around, and when you get to the top of the loop, cross over 2, 3, 4 turns, and then two turns of the thread over the top of the loop. And what that does is it closes a loop up for you, so there's no gap at the top.
Mm.
Come down, whip finish. Trim away. Hold the tool. And if you're going to buy one of these tools, there are loads of different ones. Try to get the one with the spring, like so. Oh, I just pulled that bloody thing out there then. That's okay, we get it. So you can actually hold the spring then and just twist the tool. Because some of the tools you buy, you've got to manually turn the actual thing all itself. But if you get the one with the spring on, and this was only, I think, £1 from the British Fly Fair in the bargain. I just turn him. Tighten him up. Oh, that's nice, actually. Take your dubbing brush. Take that back up. Take your brush, your needle, and just give it a little tease. Just like so, just to bring some of the fibers out. And then take it down to the bend of the hook. And just around the bend, touching turns. That's it, right, that's nice. And up we go. Come around. Tight to the head. Put a few turns at the head. Come down a little bit, come back up. Brush it back. There we are. Now if you take a little bit of super glue, leave that hang. Take a little bit of super glue. That one's gone. Just a touch. Take your glue, right, and just touch it on the thread. Just touch it on the thread, literally touch it. Oh, don't do that. Like so. Back up. When you fold your thread then tight to the bead, like so, just hold it. Nice and tight. And trim the thread away. And that's your fly finish. There's no need for varnishing. And that looks absolutely really good. That dubbing looks really nice. Take a needle and just dub it out. Can you see that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Lovely.
On that, like I said, it's the first time I've used this dubbing. It's really nice. Hendrickson pink. But I normally use the I got a rabbit fur and I put a little bit of that pink through it. And I blend it myself so it gives it a bit of sparkle. And that just, you know, I got these bugs. I put these bugs on Facebook a week or so back, just before I started painting the house. I tied these with heavier hooks, heavier beads.
What's the tail?
Coch-y-Leon. So if you put them on the point. There was a pink one. Oh, there's a pink one now. You put these on the point. Heavy one, so it goes down. Put these lighter ones with the smaller above it. And what I tend to find is these smaller bugs tend to pick the fish up. This does the work for you. These heavy ones.
Yeah, yeah.
But these bugs pull the fish.
Good.
You could tie a nice olive on a nice pink. Graylin love the pink. But these are so fast and easy to tie. You don't really mind using them now and then, because if you're fishing the check names or the bug or the jigs correctly, you do lose flies. Because they gotta be on the deck. They gotta be on the deck. They gotta be on the deck. But that, look, they're so quick, so easy to tie. And the shape of that Klingama hook,
Yeah, it's good.
I go through hundreds of them. Yeah? Do you want to see a jig?
Yeah, go on.
Oh,
Hopefully, yeah. I've got a plan. Right, okay. So that's a bug. That's really nice. Really impressed with that. Right. Okay, we'll say a big one. Right, we got a partridge jig up. partridge jig up. Got a 4.4 mil bead. Just put him on a little angle so the bead flows downhill, so it traps itself against the thread. Yeah. I'll use this again because I got it on the desk. What colour do you want? Pink?
Yeah, go on. Yeah, match the bead.
Yeah. You can have an orange. Be honest, you pink. When I'm on the river, I think a pink is always on the cast because grayling absolutely love it. But browns love it as well. Grayling pick it out. They really pick it out. Pink. And the gory big pink. Right. Again. So this is a size 10. Give a little bit. That's a white. It's the white gape jig. Size 10 from partridge.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
No, just to show us.
Pardon?
You normally use a 10, or is this to show us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It depends on the river. I'd have 10s, 12s, 14s, and 16s in the box.
Yeah.
Because I used to live away a lot up at the 12s. And if you get a foot of water on, use a size 10 jig, it doesn't hit the bottom.
Right, really?
So you've got to select your water. If you go to the back end of the pools, of course you're touching the bottom, you're catching fish. But as you move further up where you got more flow, and the river's probably deeper, I may put 2 size 10s on. Even I don't think I got any big counters. I've got a partner of my own device, and it's normally I'll have a 5 mil bead behind, and I'll have a 2.4 mil in the front. So I got 2 beads, count beads sitting together. And the boys know it as a if I say I'm on a depth charge, they know what I'm on. And sometimes even that doesn't hit the bottom. honestly, but you tend to find that's where the bigger and better fish the grayling are.
Yeah.
Deeper in faster water, so sometimes you need it. So that's how. That's 4.4 copper, a size 10. Take a in thread, put it down, stop it moving. Show me waste away. Take some Coch-y-Bonddu. This is dyed March brown. Take what, 8 to 10 fibers, tip to tip, pull them off, offer them up, get the length of tail that you want. When it's caught on, lift the fibers and then tie down. The reason for this is the same reason that I told you earlier with the scarg end of the waist end of the thread. If you catch your materials in, lift them, keep them nice and tight, and push the silk against them. Your feather or whatever you're using for the tail, it might be a bit of wool, it could be a bit of neon, whatever. It'll flow down the shank, the back of the shank of the hook, and it's nice and neat. So lifting it up, keeping it taut, does the work for you to keep the fly nice and neat. That's a little tip. That's a tip. That's a tip you should always remember and always try to do. Right. We got our pink. What's this? Yeah, this is the baby pink. and it's a straggler string. Yes, the baby thing. So trim the front bit off. Bring your thread up just behind the bead. Catch your material in. 2, lift it. Down we go. Touch the tail. Take your thread up. Work the fibers out with your fingers. Treat it like a hackle. Come around, pull your tail out the way, come around. And then touch in turns up as we go. That's good. Pull it back. Up we go. We go. Right, tight to the bead. One more. Cross it. 1, 2. Trim the waste off. Come in with the needle or your dubbing brush. Pull the little fibers out. Just like so. Right. And for the hackle, where's my fur? Take a little bit of fox squirrel. Been cut up a little bit. You just take a little fox section off. You can cut this with the scissors, you cut it with a blade, because you cut the fibers of the fur away. But for this, right. So we got a section of fox squirrel. Just have to get my edition tool out. Right, okay. Right, to form the hackle, we're going to use a bit of fox squirrel. Edition tool. Take about 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch. Just work the fur so it comes nice and level together. Catch it in the tool. Trim the pelt away, like so. Form loop. This is the other technique I use it for. Form a loop. 1, 2. Catch it in. 3. We're finished. Form your loop together. If I'm going too quick, just tell me and I'll slow down a little bit. Take your fur or your tool, catch it in. Do it again. That's lovely. Just take that little bit off. Keep it tight. Take out the bit you don't want. Keep it nice and tight. And twist it slowly. Bit of tightness. Until it comes to the point that you want it. Speed up. Where's my little brush? Dubbing brush. Boy. Just go into the fur and just break the fur up. I used to use it, but it's smashing the fur to bits. With a wire brush or that type, whatever, you tend to find it's a little bit too rough for the fur and you can pull it out. So if you use, I think this is a stone or fly tool. A moustache brush will do it. Just go in and just lightly open the fibers up. When you've done that, a couple more turns. And when you're at that stage, you see the fur? Oh, you can see a bit of there. When you're at that stage, just take your finger and thumb and crease it one way. Crease it one way. You might twist with the silk a little bit, but that's the way it is. Just crease it until it forms one way, like so. And come around, and when you start to lay it on, just brush it back with your fingers. Place it on, brush it back, turn it on, brush it back, on. It may look like a lot going on, but actually a lot of that's going to pull out. Okay, so it's really, really furry, really fluffy. If I can whip finish that, I will. Take a whip finish tool. 1, 2, 3. Pull in tight. Come in with the scissors. Don't ever come in this way with the scissors. Take your scissors, come to the side, close it, and just push up quietly and nip. Never go in like that because you cut your material away. So just open the blade a little bit, slide it up your thread, and just as you get in, clip it off. Now we go to our steel one and just brush it out. And if it's too much, pull it. Pull the little down bit, the downy bits out, like so. Give them a little tug, out they come. Open it up so you can see the nice shiny pink through it. And there we are. A nice, simple, easy, bright, shiny jig. And if you get a card like those, like that, you've got all those colors. All those colors. So people, I'm one of them. People used to snub this stuff. Oh, you can't use that. Fish in rivers, blah, 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 blah. But until you actually give it a go and try it, keep an open mind. Especially there's a brown color there. It looks, I haven't fished this color, but it looks absolutely lovely. It looks really, really, if it's a word, cardicey. It looks really cardicey, and I think that's going to pull fish. I really think that's going to pull fish. But that's a quick and easy jig. When you get used to doing them, piece of piss. You can all do it. Right. A bung. Have I showed you how to tie a bung?
No.
You all fish bungs? You must all fish a bung.
Yeah.
You fish small still waters?
Fish a bung, don't you?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Right. Let's put some of this stuff out of the way because it's just getting everywhere. Right. Come out there. Oh, my beads have come out. Right. Size 10. Nine
Gavin,
millimeter.
Gavin, do you fish a bung on the rivers?
Yes. Sometimes yes.
What, like the Y or the island or something like that?
On the Y, and the river on the Y, down where I live on the River Rumney, even on the top,
Right.
on the D, even on the D.
And what size hook on the rivers on a bung?
It's a standard size for me. It's a size 10. Everywhere supreme.
Right. Okay.
It's nice and strong. The gape is nice and wide, which is important. You've got to have a nice wide gape. Sometimes, mind if I haven't actually got any, is the B160 from Cormorants, because that's got a nice wide gape. But I tend to find out I've hooked fish with that, and I've had them bending out. So this is a little bit narrower gape, but it's a lot stronger. We take 9mm booby tube. Everything's sticking together. And you can tie these in different sizes. You can use a 7mm, you can use a 4mm. If I'm on the river, I go down like a 5mm one from Centerfly, you know,
Right.
a little bit more dainty, but it's just a booby tube. Take the end. And just chamfer it down. So it's like a little bottom of a fence post. Take your hook, where's my hook on? Lost my hook now. Right. Just take your hook, thread it to the point. And just push it up the side. So it looks like that. Yeah?
Yeah.
Right. Put it in the vise. Pull the foam down. Spot of super glue. And it's only a spot. Wiggle the foam up. So you leave about 3 or 4 millimeters behind the eye. Right, like that. Get some orange thread. And you want these in a couple of colours. My colours are normally orange or black. If it's a darker day, use the orange, stands out. If it's a light, bright day, the black stands out like a sore thumb on the water. It's really, the black is a lot better. So the foam is on. Catch your thread on behind the eye. Put your finger behind the foam and stop it moving. And just tie over the foam so you catch it in. Like so. Trim off. A little bit of dubbing. A little bit of spectra. Like so. Come down over the foam. Come forward to the eye. Hackle. Nice wide hackle. You know, don't use your nice softer, smaller hackles that you use for your dunkels. Use the slightly bigger ones. Say 3/4 of the way up the actual cape itself. You know, we don't even get a floor feeding. But fish do take these. They do take them. That's why I always put a hook in my bangs. Put many fish on them. Take a hackle. And just foam hackle on. Come around. 3 turns maybe. Catch it on. 1, 2, 3. Push him back. Form a nice neat head. And then whip finish. Pull it tight. There we are, bung. Simple as that. I don't think I've ever bought a bung from a shop. The packaged ones. Just make my own. And the beauty of this is when you fish it, it sits like that in the water, like a coarse fishing float. And you see it dipping up and down when the fish are just not nudging it and touching it. And that's a bung.
How's it connected onto the leader then, Gav?
Tie it on. top dropper,
Oh, just like a dropper.
just like a dropper.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you have, say, you fish your 2 nymphs or 3 nymphs underneath,
Yeah.
put this whatever you want on the leader. So if it's what 18 inches above your first one,
Yeah, yeah.
there is a technique for tying them on if you want a short leader. If you have a long leader, dropper rather, you tend to find it can flap. They can flap around. Yeah. So what a lot of us river boys, Scottish lads in the internationals came up with this years and years ago. They call it a 1-inch dropper. You take your fly, you tie 8 inches of leader onto it. Yeah, so you got your bang and your 8 inches of leader. Put that onto your leader, and then water knot it on. So that then the dropper is only about 1 inch. So it's very, very delicate. If you see very, very delicate takes.
Yeah.
Very delicate. Like the inline bangs you can buy, they actually stuck to your leader, your leader, aren't they?
Yeah.
A lot of places you can't use them because people don't like them. So that's when we came up with this. So 8-inch leader, tie it on, put it actually onto your above it, and just water knot it on. And it also helps when you're casting because it's tight. Because it's tight to your leader, it flows better. It doesn't go when you cast.
Perfect.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. Yeah,
Good.
very.
Yeah. So we've done a couple of boobies. We've done cormorants. We've done a nice little nymph, which I'll be out the week after next, hopefully, and I'm gonna give that a go. That's really nice looking dubbing. I've had it about 3 weeks and I haven't opened it because of working in the house. The boss wouldn't let me do anything.
Yeah,
Hello.
yeah. Tie one of your Coch-y-Bondus. Some of the lads haven't seen that, especially where you use the larger feathers because you tie it halfway down the hook.
The pheasant ones. Right. Okay. I'm gonna have to dig through my stuff, mind.
You don't mind waiting?
Oh, I know, yeah. Go crack open a bottle of beer there.
What, just the one?
I've got a little whiskey, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, let me put this stuff away then. Right, okay. We'll have a look. We'll see if we can find a green wheels feather now.
I
Right.
got one here.
Go on then, crack on. Go on. I don't know if I've told you before, but if you buy a cream
Great.
kit, you get green wheels feathers in it. I never ever buy a grade 1. This is a bronze, and you get green wheels feathers going through it, and that's because of the nature of the actual bird itself. And there's one there, look, Derek. Right. Okay. Right. Oh, give a little bit. Right. Settle it down. Right, okay. Got some gold.
See, Paul's still awake.
Slaney. Right. Okay, ready to go?
Yeah.
Yep.
Right, I'll tie it on a size 12. I'll use this partridge hook because it's in front of me. Just pull the chair in there. So we just put the hook in a vise. Where's my Benici gone? Oh, it's there in front of me. I'm looking for that. It's in front of me. Just this marabou's flying everywhere at the moment. Okay. We're nearly there. It's flying a little bit out of season at the moment.
I do like it though,
Oh yeah.
especially on Clywedog.
Oh, it pulls it. It does pull fish. Just keep it a secret. Don't tell anybody.
Too late for that.
Right. We've got a size 12 in.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Black thread. Catch on. Just behind the eye. Trim your silk away. I'll put a little gold tag in it. This is what I call old gold. Right, it's like a tarnished gold. Catch it in. Blow it down around the bend of the hook. Just like so. And form a tag. Comes up. Comes around, come flat, catch the tag off. Now the silk or the thread is in the center of the hook. Okay?
Yeah.
Cock pheasant, standard, hog standard cock pheasant. If they're a bird that's about 2-year-old, it's better because they get a little bit more melanistic. But these feathers are from round his chest, or the base of his neck where his chest are, on his back and around the front. Okay?
Yep.
Try to get a nice one, a nice coloured one. Just pull one off. Like so. Pull away the down. Like that. We catch him in the center of the hook. Secure it. Trim the stalk away. Move the thread up the hook slightly. Hackle pliers. Catch the tip. Give it a little fold. And then we hackle in the center of the hook. 1, 2, 3. Catch the hackle in. Secure it. And move the thread up to the eye. Crack the end off. Although it looks like a spider now, it'll all come together. Crease the fibers up towards the eye to form a shuttlecock. And when we're there, come through, come on. When we're there, hold it like a shuttlecock and put 1, 2 turns of thread around it. Open the fibers, well, spread the fibers rather, around the eye of the hook. Nice and evenly. And then take your thread down to the center of the body. The reason for doing this is this type of feather is in general is called a broad. Now partridge are the same. You can get woodcock are the same. Duck feather can be the same, because instead of being long like a standard hackle, they're short and wide, so it's broad. If you tie it in at the eye, the feather is too big. It'll be ridiculous. So catching it in at the center of the hook, folding it back, shortens the fibers. So when we finish the fly, when we put the palm and hackle in, we push this cloak back, it sits a lot better and it looks a lot neater. So now we get a rib, which is small oval gold. Can't see bugger all there. I think I just heard my voice. Right, okay. So we get some oval gold, just the uni.
Yep.
Catch it in for the rib. You can actually see it. Come down to the finish position that you're gonna finish your fly off. Just trim that bit of waste away. Take 2 bronze peacock quills, tip to tip, trim them, catch them in, form a body, come up from the center, come up 2 or 3 turns, then go down towards tag or the butt, and then back up towards the eye. Make a nice fat cylinder shape. 1, 2, 3 turns to catch it in, trim the body or the curls away. Now go for a nice, if you can't get green nails, they are like rocking nose, it's like rocking nose poo. Just get a nice ginger color. If you can get the black centers, lovely. But if you can't, don't worry, just use a ginger. Trim your feather. Pull a few fibers off the point to give you a little tying in base. And the reason for that is if you don't do that, if you don't pull the little fibers off the end and catch it in, you'll have all the fibers trapped and they point all over the place. So by just cutting, pulling them away, it gives you that little shaft. You can just catch in. 1, 2, 3, 4, and it makes it nice and neat. Catch it in behind the cloak, and then go 1 full turn around, and then work down the body and just open turns. Get to the butt, cross the rib, 1 complete turn, and then up the body in open turns. And as you go in with the rib, wiggle it. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And here you go. Wiggle, wiggle, right up tight to the silk. 2, 3. Trim the rib away and just give the hackle a little pinch away. So that's our palm done. And now the cloak. Finger and thumb, crease it back, side to side, above and below. Side to side, above and below. And go. Pull it back, wiggle your thread through to the eye. So we like so. Sweep it back. Don't do it in one go, just sweep it back until it sits the way you want to. And when you see it, then hold it and form a nice neat head. 2 turns. This is imitating a natural beetle, so they have got a nice black shiny head. So don't be afraid of making a big prominent head in it. And there we are. We're finished. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Trim him, put it tight. Like I said with the scissors, don't come in like this. Open the tips up slightly. Follow the thread in with the open, slightly open tip. Get in.
Gavin, what make are those scissors?
Is that me then? These are from Deer Creek. But there's so many manufacturers of scissors on the market now. You know, just look for a good pair. You get Tiemco. I got a few. I got a couple of Tiemco pairs. Where's that from? I can't find my Tiemco, but I got Dr. Slicks. That's a curved scissors. That's a very fine pointed Dr. Slick. These ones are from Deer Creek. It's a general purpose scissors. And then you get the really fine ones. This is just used for dry flies. Sometimes for wets, you've got delicate work to do, but normally it's for dry flies getting in nice and tight like that. You can't use these for cutting stalks. I don't even use them for cutting thick hackles. It's just for the fine, delicate work. Your tools are everything, to be honest. Like, that's a Peterson needle. And I needed about 22 quid, 23 quid, 25 quid, something like that. And I held off for years. I thought, I'm not paying out for the epoxy dubbing needle. But I don't put it down now. I've had it years, and every time in time flies I use it. If it's for varnishing or pulling the dubbing out or splitting the silk, get your tools. But anyway, that's a Coch-y-Bonddu. So if you go wide feathers, start from the center, fold it back like a shuttlecock, and then just cloak it back over like that.
Yeah.
I don't think, can I get it closer to the camera? Is this camera okay, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, fine.
You see that?
Yeah,
You see the cloak in front now, the nice chestnut colour?
yeah.
And that's, if you ask Eric, that's about the size of a Coch-y-Bonddu.
Cracking,
they-
cracking pattern, that is.
They're about the size of your thumbnail.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one other thing, finishing materials, head cement. I use the Deer Creek UV resin. It's good, great for me. But I also use the old Vineyards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shake your bottle, crack your lid first, make sure it's nice and loose. Give it a shake. Take the lid off. And inside, you've got that little well. Never, ever, ever get your bottle and stick your needle in. Don't do it, because you could tie your fly, best fly you've ever tied in your life, do that and you ruin the pattern. Take your lid with a little well, your needle, get a little spot in it, there you are. And that's it, the fly varnish. That's your fly varnish. Wipe your needle, clean the eye. Done. I've seen so many people like in the fly tying classes, they tie a lovely fly and they dip the needle in and go bluff on the varnish and it's ruined. So look at what you got, look at your tools you got, and look at your products, because I'm sure Vineyard did that on purpose. They did that for that reason. I'm sure they did. So use that little well. Saves you breaking your heart and crying like a little girl. Because you will. Right, is that enough?
Very good.
Excellent. Really good.
Yeah. It was a little bit off the cuff tonight, because like I said, I've been painting, so I'm going fishing Saturday. I had to top my box up because I've got hardly anything left in it. So the boobies, all this is going in my little box. But I hope I give you some helpful tips like this. How to tighten your dubbing up.
Mhm.
So put your dubbing on as normal, and then make your loop around it. Tighten it up, and you honestly, you'd be surprised how tight that dubbing goes. As long as you use the thread to match your material.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're using claret teals for it, you can use black then, because black and claret match together really good. But of course, if you're using some, like a lime color, you've got to go to them.
Yeah.
Because if you look at that now, look, it just shines. Although it's orange, it just shines because the orange thread is underneath it. If you put black underneath it, especially when it gets wet, it goes in the water. It's even worse. So come on, throw some questions in.
I love the way that everybody goes quiet.
Yeah.
So what rooms are you painting then?
Oh my God, it was all stairs and landing. Picture this. Picture it.
Yeah, Gav.
We had new carpets Tuesday. So I said, right, leave me alone. Sunday, I'm ripping the old stairs carpet up. I'll paint everything. Take the carpet up. On the top stairs, the turner collapsed. So I thought, oh my God. Right, I couldn't get underneath because the kitchen ceiling is there.
Yeah.
So I thought, right, I got to fix it from the top. The front riser was solid and the back riser was solid. I thought, right, 3/4 inch plays going on there, lovely. It's 42 quid for a piece of play in B&Q.
Bloody hell.
42 quid.
Honestly,
What size sheet did he buy?
I had to buy 8 foot by 6 foot because they wouldn't cut it for me.
Oh, well.
Broke my heart.
Hey then.
I travelled all the way home. I cut it, I fitted it, lovely, clamped it. I thought, right, do you think I could find 1.25 springs anywhere? No. Back to B&Q.
Oh dear.
Hell of a day. Hell of a day. And all my mates were up in Llangollen on the day.
Oh,
Really, really, really happy. Really happy.
Marriage is a wonderful thing, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, yeah. So lads, keep your silks matched up with your materials. Your marabou, use your fingers, use the tip of your finger. For the gauging, use the outside of your thumb to create your nice shaped wings. Never ever cut marabou with the scissors. Always pluck. Always pluck. And like with cormorants, half the width of your tip of your finger is the length is the width of your wing. Cut it, pluck it, and trim those little fibers off. And life is a lot easier, I'm telling you. Half a dozen turns and you'll have a lovely shaped head with no little fuzzy bits poking out everywhere. And it keeps the size of your heads nice and small. Give it a go. Are you tying next time, Derek?
No,
Oh,
Melvin Wood's doing some tying next week.
oh Mel, yeah.
Derek's
Yeah.
giving in now. He's a director.
He's a good Melvin's a really good tyer. Fair play to him.
Yeah.
Really good tyer. Really
Anybody
good.
got any questions for Gav before he goes?
Nothing about Manchester United.
No, it's been a good session. Thanks, Gav. Really good.
It was
Very good. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
a little
thanks
bit
very much,
like
Gav.
Thank you, very, very interesting.
Very
a little bit
nice.
off the cuff.
Yeah, thank you.
A little bit off the cuff, but we got there. But keep an open mind as well. Like I said, with these materials, with river fishing, the nice true colours, sparkly, and they got a lot of movement. They got a lot of movement. and that's a winning combination for fish. So open mind and give them a go.
Okay.
I've had these here for months and months and months, and I haven't looked at them. I thought I'll give them a go, and I was surprised. I just got to get out and use them now. Yeah. If I'm allowed. Yeah.
Cheers,
So,
Gav.
lads.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you, Darren.
thanks very much, Derek. Thanks
All
for
right.
that.
Andrew. All
Yeah.
right.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. See you Wednesday. Those are there.
Yeah.
Yeah. You still here, Derek?
I'm still here, yeah.
Yeah. So Mel's up next week. Do you know what he's saying?
No idea. But the week after, Scott Byron's doing some streamers. You know,
All
the,
right.
the American lad.
Yeah.
He's doing some streamers for us. Rob, then we got Christmas. And then after Christmas, Rob Redmond's tying some flies, and Vigo's going to do some for us as well.
Oh, good.
He's gone now.
Oh, good.
Yeah. But yeah, thanks for tonight.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Great evening.
Did you tell him we got to kill him now? You've shown him that
Yeah.
Coch-y-Bonddu.
Yeah. Slow and painful.
It'll work in Sweden. I tell you what.
That's a cracking pattern, that is.
The lakes. I fished a few of the lakes out there, and it'll work in Sweden. Definitely. Definitely. Awesome place. Right. Time for some food now.
Yeah,
Thanks,
thanks.
Gav.
Thanks ever so much. Good night.
Last,
Yeah.
anytime.
Take care,
Anytime.
everybody.
Cheers.
See you later, Derek.
See you all soon. Good night.
Try now.
Good night.
Thanks very much. Bye.
Oh, I better stop the record button, don't I?
Have you started it?